Hey everybody, what is up? This is Devin LaVore coming at you with another encouraging video. And like the title says, they've all been seeds. What do I mean by that? Well, man, if you guys have been following us for the past 7 years, God has given us a lot of dreams, a lot of visions, a lot of prophetic words. We've released a lot. God has done a lot in 7 years, right? But a lot of it, I'd say the great majority of it has yet to be seen. And of course, you go through a lot of time frame testing and when, oh Lord, how long, oh Lord? You go through a lot of that stuff. But the bottom line is, when you're investing your money into a fund or something like that, you don't invest the money and then come back next week and go, where's my millions? And it's like, you got to give it time to mature and grow, right? Like when you sow seeds, you sow a seed and you come back at a later point in time to receive the harvest, right? Well, I feel like the Lord's just saying that. He's saying like everything that he has been doing in the wilderness time has been seed sowing, okay? And so that takes me to a vision the Lord gave me of during this 7-year journey that we've been on. I got a vision one time of being in this place in the wilderness that we call the ancient ruins. And in the ancient ruins, it's surrounded by sand and desert. Think of like some sort of deserty movie. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing's growing there. Tumbleweeds don't even visit all that much. But the Lord had us, he would give us these really amazing seeds. Some of them would be really big. Some of them, just smaller, all different sizes. And you say, now go out there, right out there in that desert and plant it in the ground. And it's like, really? Okay. And so I feel like that planting in the ground is what we're living. We're living in this wilderness desert kind of lifestyle, which God has sustained with manna this whole time, from different sources and different places and from different faces. But God has supported it because if it's him, he's going to provide, right? And so God gave me this vision of planting these seeds, and then there was going to come this rain that was just going to be so torrential that it would change the landscape, right? So rain can do that. It can change the landscape, and what was once fertile ground can be laid waste and then become a desert, and then that which is a desert can become fertile ground, and so the Lord promises that quite often in the scripture. If you read Isaiah 51:3, it says, "For the Lord will comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness will be found in her, thanksgiving and the voice of song or instrument of praise." And so the rain is going to come. That's going to happen. Luke 18:8. Jesus says, "But will I find faith when I come?" Not if, but when. So God is going to come. He's going to fulfill his word. There's going to be a rain of the blessing of God over everything you've sown. But will you have sown? Will you have sown obedience into the soil of your life? Because when God comes and manifests himself, the rain is only going to matter if you have seed in the ground, And so what happened is one day it just started growing. In this vision I had, it just started growing, and there was these huge, just crazy blades of grass that were so huge. It felt like it was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, We're surrounded by this massive amount of greenery when just literally the day before it was dry desert, because it represents the timing of the Lord. And when the blessing comes, God just gets moving and things start growing like crazy. And so I was just sharing this because it was my hope that, and I believe it was God's hope, that you would take encouragement in the sowing, in the wilderness. Look at it as a sowing time. And yes, a lot of things that God says is very exciting, and that excitement leads you to believe it's right now, it's right now, it's right now, when really it's not. You know, some things are right now, and then when it's right now, you will start to see it. It'll start just happening. There are things that God has shown me, and those things are happening right now. Because it's a now word, therefore it has to happen now. And so what we find is this place that was barren and dry and lifeless and dry bones, you know, it actually turns out to be the birthplace of God's glory. God says, I'm going to deliver you and bring you into the promised land, and then you come to this desert place where there's just a mountain. And it's just like, what's this? It's the birthplace of God's glory. This is where I'm going to transform you and get you ready for what you're going into. That's what we've been going through. That's kind of what the wilderness is about. Stripping away everything that you know, and God rebuilding you in your relationship with Him, in trust, and all the, just so many different things, so that you can go into the next thing He wants for you. But during that time, He's having you sow. It's like you're sowing everything that God's going to do. It literally is, the desert is that birthplace of God's glory. It's the womb. You know, it can also be the tomb, because it's the place you go to die to yourself. But the great thing about going to the tomb is that there's a promise of resurrection to come out, you know. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and pray that that blesses you, that everything you've sown in the wilderness, everything you've sown in the darkness, everything that you've sown in your barrenness, like Hannah, you've gone up year after year after year after year after year. Eventually there comes a time where you do receive the baby, you do receive the promise, you do receive the desire of your heart, you know. And I just decree over somebody somewhere out there right now is going to need to hear this. I decree that you are going to see the desire of your heart fulfilled. You have passed the test. You have come through. Sometimes you got to go through to get to. And I just feel like the Lord's saying you're about to get to. And I just decree that you are going to see the desire of your heart, the long awaited desire of your heart. You're going to see it. You're going to see it. And this is not a you're going to see it if you faint not. No, I believe there's somebody out there who's going to hear this, and they're going to know it's for them, that no, you're getting ready to see it. Like right now, you're getting ready to see it. You know, I don't have an exact time frame. I'm not going to say 3 days or this time next year or something like that. It's just, that's what I feel like the Lord wants me to say. And the Lord will pitch it to whoever is supposed to get it, right? And so, blessings to you guys. And until next video, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.